Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we're in San Sequoia on the dreaded 64 by 64 lot, building a recreation center, and this is what it ends up looking like. I called it the Sequoia Club, tying in San Sequoia and then it just being like a recreation center. So as far as what this lot offers, it offers basketball, a water park, a gym, a music room, a cafeteria area, puzzles and gaming, a playground, yoga and meditation, a library with computers, painting, and a rooftop pool. So you may have seen that I already kind of had some stuff laid out from the debug catalog because I just wanted to make it easier and save some time finding some items. I did do a parking lot towards the back side of the lot, which is just purely decoration, but I think it gives it a nice element because looking in the surrounding lots in this particular area, some of the lots actually had cars parked alongside them or nearby them. So I thought it was great to just add a little bit of that depth and dimension, putting in some cars on this lot. And I mean, the lot is like huge, so there's plenty of room to have a parking lot area for cars. So why not? So the little off building off to the right there, upper right with the skylights, is the cafeteria area. In it, there is a food serving table or like a cafeteria item. I think it came with Discovery University. But with that, there's also vending machines, which I think those were from high school years. But in the back corner room, there is an actual kitchen, which has a stove, a refrigerator, and a microwave. I just realized I didn't put a sink in, but that's okay. I did put fire safety, so I did put that sprinkler system thing and a smoke alarm just in case you do decide to bake a cake or cook on this lot, so you're safe there. And I think the hardest part with this lot was just figuring out the overall shape. I have to say this is probably the third or fourth time that I rebuilt it because I just couldn't figure out how to get all of the shapes together. I know that I wanted basketball, and like early versions of this lot, I actually had like basketball on like its own floor with like the highest wall settings because you have to have it high enough so that the basketball hoops can sit there. And then I tried to put like a pool on top of that. And I also flipped it the other way and had the pool on the ground floor and basketball like on top of the pool, like a separate floor, obviously, but it was just a lot. So I thought, you know what? I like the idea of putting a pool on the roof. It kind of gives it like a nice vibe. You get to use some of the space up there, and you get great views as well. Makes it feel kind of exclusive or like a premium club or something. So hence Sequoia Club. As far as skylights go, we did do a skylight here on this like staircase to get to the upper level. But I do end up taking that out because I realized, number one, I actually didn't include steps there. But number two, it was just kind of glitchy. I couldn't get it to look right, and so I just decided to make that little spot open air. This elevated platform area, it becomes yoga and meditation. I make it like a green roof, and you can get up there through the hallway, which wraps all the way around the pool. And there's a double doors to get out to where the yoga and meditation are. I thought it was a good spot to put it on the roof, but also just kind of on its own. More towards the quiet side of things. I mean, you'll have basketball going, I guess, but it's a pretty quiet corner of the lot, I think. Over here, this is just planter boxes that I made out of platforms, which also were a little glitchy. I was trying to get this like open air staircase to look right with those platforms there, and it was just being a little funky. But I think we do end up getting it in the end, and I actually make the stairs up to the pool level open air as well, just because it was easier to do it that way than cover in like a glass roof or something like that. This little bump out area becomes a planter box, which I put a palm tree in because I thought that's pretty cool. There were some palm trees that were used on the neighboring lots in different areas. So I thought that was great to bring a couple of the palms that were used around the world to the slot. It kind of makes it fit and kind of makes it feel all cohesive and like it belongs in the world just by tying in the landscaping as much as possible. As far as packs for this big lot, I used Growing Together, High School Years, Snowy Escape, Discover University, Get Famous, City Living, Get Together, Dream Home Decorators, Spa Day, Toddler Stuff, and Perfect Patio Stuff. So a variety of different packs there. And one of the things I realized too when I actually finished was it would have been a great opportunity to add in a rock climbing wall. It was one of those things that I had forgotten about because I wanted to make sure I got all of the core items such as music and painting and a library and computers and a kitchen area, but also showers and bathrooms. So it was just, it's like I tried to fit it in like towards the end, like off camera, not recording. But by the time we finished this lot, there really isn't a lot of room where it would really fit. I mean, they aren't super big or anything. So if you really wanted to add it, you probably could. In fact, if you don't really have an interest in the yoga or meditation, you could easily put a rock climbing wall on the green roof. I think that would work really well there because it's outside. And it gives you the height you need. There's no like ceiling or roof or walls to get in the way. And speaking of walls, I had an awful glitchy time with walls. At some point here, I don't know what exactly happened. Like I didn't do anything. I've been building for hours. Like I was building over like multiple hours, trying to put this lot together. And yeah, I don't know what happened, but at one point the game just refused to delete walls. Like I would delete them with the hammer tool or try to use like the control key and, delete the walls that way, but it just left them there. However, if I actually removed the walls and then saved the game, it would then make the walls disappear that I had deleted. It was very weird. I had that happen quite a few times, especially in the cafeteria area. And I actually did leave that in so you can see me fighting with it because I thought it was important to kind of highlight that, I run into glitches when I build, and that is definitely a new one where the walls just don't go away when you delete them like you expect. I don't know if it's something I put on the lot from the debug catalog or something that just made it go weird, but I do make flower planter boxes using these debug planter boxes, and I elevate flowers into them. So that is a nice thing. We use the yellow flowers that are placed sporadically throughout San Sequoia, and they just make really nice little flowering planter boxes. I do that around the front as well. Originally, I was toying with the idea of putting some water here because in front of this lot is like a huge like area of water. But I end up taking this out in the end because a couple of reasons. When I lowered the terrain there, it had this like weird orangey rock pattern that you see around the edge of the water. And when it came time for terrain painting, I couldn't get rid of that orangey rock edging around the water, which was really bugging me. But also the color of the water itself, I couldn't get to match the off-lot water. Like that's more of like a darky, murky color, and I just couldn't do it. Also, you see we transitioned there because I left out the part of wallpapering this build because that took a significant amount of time. I used Growing Together siding wallpapers, stone here for the basketball area, but generally I use different colors of the wood siding from Growing Together, which, I use yellow and a lighter wood, darker wood, and like a darker charcoal color, which they all, I think, tie in very well and complement each other in the different areas. But man, it was a lot to wallpaper, so I left that out. Especially because then if I left that in this video, it would probably be like 40 minutes long. So I think 32 minutes is probably long enough for a build like this because it's already kind of pushing it. But yeah, I hope I can make it 32 minutes talking, but I think I will. There's plenty to talk about with this build, but right now we're lighting up the build, which I'm just putting down different areas of the lighting on the exterior because it seemed kind of dark in some spots. I was getting this weird like black dark area, and I couldn't figure out what exactly that was, but that could have also been the start of my wall glitching, perhaps. Or maybe it was the use of platforms in different areas. I have no clue, but the inside is basically almost like there's giant hallways everywhere. These two rooms off to the side become the fitness room and a music room, and upstairs that little area becomes a library. And then we have the bathrooms and like changing room area, which actually those take a different shape as well. I actually revised the floor plan a little bit because this stairwell you used to get up to the pool, originally you would have had to walk all the way around, like the hallway around the pool, just to get back to the staircase if you use the changing rooms. So underneath where this palm tree is located was basically dead space. So I converted that into a tiny hallway with a door for the bathrooms, which is just another way to get into the changing rooms. It also allows you just quick access to the pool level. I thought that was important because already this lot is like huge itself. So walking and getting around and navigating in this particular building is going to take some time for Sims, for sure. So, we do shift the parking lot down because I wanted to create an area with a like a water park or the splash pads. And this area over here becomes a playground in the end, but this is where I go hunting for the whalebird. We do him in yellow instead of blue, and I size up some of these splash pad shapes, and which actually I believe I mistakenly used these at one point in a house build as a like bathroom rug or a rug, but they're actually for splash pads. But here we are doing the playground. I do end up swapping out the playground equipment. I do leave like the this pirate ship and then the little like whalebird slide, but I do get rid of the monkey bars and we put in I originally put in a swing set, but I get rid of that too. No, actually I keep the swing set, but I get rid of the monkey bars and I put this like toddler tube thing. It's like this weird thing that I'm assuming toddlers can use. So I thought that was great because Sims of all ages will come to this lot to do different activities. So I thought that was important to have something for toddlers too, not just kids, and the splash pads and, not for the adult Sims as well. So here I was I found a bunch of different stuff in debug, and I was like, oh, look at these great fences from high school years, which I believe were used on the like football field in the world that came with high school years. But I thought they fit well here because it was like a chain link fence, but it was high enough. But also I liked the green color. I kind of do wish it came in like a black or a silver, but I think the green works well. And since it's off to the side of the building, it kind of gives like an enclosed little playground area. It's not like completely enclosed, like the one side is open, obviously, for just easy access. And then here I was making additional planter boxes using some bushes instead of the flowers. These little like barricades I use as bike racks, and what Sims could theoretically like tie their bikes to. I mean, they're not going to tie their bikes to it, but I do place some bikes around it. And I was just combing through the debug catalog trying to find different things I could put around. Obviously one of those things was the glass roof, and I thought, oh, that would have been pretty cool, like having that dome glass roof over like the basketball court area. But then I also really didn't know how I would have made that work because the domed roof glass thing had like these legs on it, and they were pretty big. So maybe in a different build we could try using that at some point, but I thought about, just leaving the basketball hoops open, and I think it works best. I think it's great, but then some people might think, oh, the walls around the basketball court's kind of weird, but the idea is it's a club. So you're supposed to have a membership to have access to most of the main core features, theoretically. So basketball is open air, but you have to be a club member essentially to be able to use the basketball court. So that's kind of why it's sectioned off, and it just creates a different look to the build, I think. especially like the overall elevation of the build. It works, I think. It was a neat idea, especially the rooftop pool, which I was thinking like, oh, like this is going to be like, people are going to think it's like a club or something. I mean, it is a club, but it's a recreation center. But I meant like one of like the city living like clubs or lounges or something, which, but it's not. I think having the pool up there is great. And here we are. I did find a flagpole in there that I wanted to use out in the front as decoration, and I tie in some more of the trees around the neighboring lots and just do a little bit of landscaping here and there, grabbing some of the different bushes that are used in neighboring lots, especially those little like red ones. That's actually a really pretty bush, but it doesn't really come in any other colors, which is kind of sad. Like this has just got brightly vibrant red flowers on it, but it doesn't come in any other color. And I was trying to find like the other flowers that they use in the other lots, but they're like a different color to what's in the catalog. But I know it's there because I found it before, but I couldn't find it for this build, but that's okay. We don't really need it. I think we have enough landscaping and plants. And I was looking at these bushes for a while that I surrounded the water park in, and I thought these are awfully big. Like they are the ones that are on neighboring lots, but I felt like they were big. So we do come back and size those down to kind of match the neighboring lot a little better, because they used like those exact bushes, but they were just a slightly smaller size. I also sized down this giant like sculpture. I think that came with Get Together as just a decorative piece on the side of the building. And here we are staging the bikes. They could theoretically be used. I just kind of staged them so they're like chained to those racks as like bike racks. And I was putting some benches around, but we do come back later and swap out the bench style, because I liked using the high school years bench, because I found that and I used that in like the changing areas for like the main like changing bathroom and stuff, and just in different spots around the world. And I thought that those looked better, I think, and they tied in well with the like siding and stuff. These three little rooms become showers. I use the Discovery University showers in those, so they're like basically shower rooms. And I guess the cool feature about those is that with the skylights that you saw on the roof as I was building, they basically look up into that, like they're open to skylights from above, but there's no other windows or anything. So also, this is where I ran into the wall deletion glitch. As you can see, I was like deleting the wall and I'm like, what the heck? Like, what is going on here? And then I saved the game and then the walls disappeared, but then I got like that black shadowing on the wall, and it was just very weird. But this is where I was trying to like fit in, like, how am I going to like arrange this main like changing bathroom? And then I thought, oh, that's perfect. I'll just put those there, put sinks over here, and then back here I was going to do the lockers, but then I do end up changing it and adding in that hallway. I mean, I do still keep the same amount of lockers and stuff. This is also where I ran into a little glitch with walls here again too. As you can see, like I lost all 4 of the walls, but there was only one piece left. I deleted it, built it back, same thing. And it was just very weird. And I thought, okay, we'll leave it, come back to it later. But I do end up fixing it. I think I just ended up dragging like walls over top of it, or it just decided to work. This is a daycare play area where you can drop the little kids off. I put in the like play tent thing, a little infant baby playing thing, a dollhouse, a toy chest, Blarpy, because you cannot, forget Blarpy over there. And originally I was going with this like darker purple to kind of tie in with the carpeting that I used, but I come back and changed it out and make it just like a white with like gray lines. This is where I finally sort the wall. It was very weird. It was just not working with me. As far as the cafeteria, this little like serving area is not functional. There won't be any like food on or anything to, any way to staff it, but it's just purely for decoration. But the vending machines do exist, as does the fridge and the stove, so you could really make a meal. I also just realized I forgot to put in barbecue grills around the different like grounds, so you could have had like random Sims making you hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff. But That's okay. That's a minor thing that you could easily add by just placing the lot and then going into build mode and just putting a barbecue grill somewhere. I would say probably next to the picnic tables. I do put a picnic table towards the back and then one towards the front. So this is the music room. Originally, I put like a DJ booth in here, but later we swapped that out for a like mixing. It's like a music mixing station, which I'm guessing is almost similar, but not. It looked a little smaller and it looked a little nicer. This is the little cafeteria area, and this is the small mini kitchen. I used the stove from Snowy Escape because that gave you both a stove and an oven in one. And then over here is a full refrigerator and just a microwave. No sink. Didn't really think about that until just now, but that's okay. There are sinks on the lot. It's just, it'd be a long journey to get to them, but, it's okay. We do use some of these wall murals. Originally, I thought, I could put that there, but no, I can't because I need the doors to get into the music room. And I was thinking, like, how can I fit a roller skating rink in here? That would have been cool. And there goes the toddler play area with the, like, tubes. So that's when we swap that out. In here, this becomes the game room. And I put the foosball table there, or table tennis. Not foosball, it's table tennis, Arthur. And then the horrid ball pit, but that's outside, so we're good. But I thought that fit well in this little area over by the water park area. And then I was trying to figure out how these puzzles work, because when you place the actual like puzzle piece down, it broke up into like a bajillion pieces, but then you could no longer select it with the hand tool. So that was pretty interesting, I guess. But then I do change out these tables. I originally tried to use these from high school years, but I come back later and I put in the actual proper gaming tables because I realized it may or may not work here. Like I wanted to put in some of the other games and it just, I don't know, it just didn't fit very well. But the table tennis does stay where it is right now. I think that made the most sense. It's out of the way, but you can still fit all of the other games in there. And I used these spa day doors because I thought they were like nice. They were big, white, they had glass in them so you can see like what's going on inside. And then this is when I do the downstairs bathroom changing area. There's only one toilet down on this floor, which is basically what I consider a family toilet. It has a changing room, changing table, and toilet, and then the other side basically just has your showers, your sinks, and no toilets. And then there's the big bathroom changing area, which is up on the second floor. But at least there's a toilet on the first floor your Sims can use, which is right here. This is the family changing room with sink. So it has everything you need in there. And I also do a changing table up here in this big bathroom area, which is surrounding the pool. I thought that made the most sense, putting it near the pool, but not like up with the pool. And I used spa day tiling in there because it was like this nice dark tile. And this is where I had the wall deletion glitch again. But I do finally get the wall deleted. And I thought about just leaving the door tucked back in there. But then I thought, that looks kind of weird. Like you could see this like gaping hole underneath the palm trees. So I do build the wall back and had the deletion glitch again, but then it finally did go away. I don't know if it's the amount of objects on this lot or what, but that's like the first time I've ever seen that. This becomes the library and computer area. It's kind of small, but I didn't really think it needed to be a certain size or anything. We use the colorful desks or tables from the Growing Together pack, as well as chairs. We kind of match I matched the color of the chairs to the color of the tables compared to the cafeteria where I kind of just randomized them a bit, mixing and matching the colors. And I do extend this area out up here because I thought that's perfect. I could take up a little bit of this roof space that's not really being utilized and I can put painting in there. So we do 3 easels and I just scatter around some painting, like clutter and decorations just to kind of make it look like, you can actually paint there. I realized I probably should have put some tile on the floor, but hardwood's okay. I think it would have looked a little strange having it go from like the hardwood in the library to just tile. But Sims don't really like get paint everywhere, so I don't think that's like a huge concern. They usually just stick to the easel. It's not like it gets all over the floor or anything. So I guess for realism's sake, you could pretend, but we are now wallpapering the music room, and originally I was going with like the white and black dots, and I thought, no, we're gonna tone that back, and I do some brightly colored accent walls. Just trying to figure out what exactly goes well with each room, fits well, but in the end, I kind of decided to keep them simple with white and red, and I do carpeting. And this is where I swap out the tables because, yeah, the other stuff just wasn't working. At least now I can put the actual games on the tables, chairs around, and I do place the signage around to kind of direct your Sims where to go in the different areas. And then this is the small area hallway to get to, or that was the small area hallway to get to the meditation, which I do come and add steps to. I promise. I don't forget about that, but I did quickly see that there were no steps there yet. But that is one area that I finish right now, where we just slide in some steps and just finish up areas that I kind of forgot about, and then I saw them and realized, oh, okay, yeah, we need to do that. Out here, this is the main reception area. There is no computer or anything because I thought Sims would just sit here and then play on the computer rather than using one of the computers upstairs. So we just keep it a plain desk, a couple chairs scattered around because it's basically just a main entrance welcoming space. It's not really like, it's essentially a reception area, but it's not going to be like staffed. So I didn't want random Sims, sitting there playing on computer games. I'd rather them, use the lot and the other functions of the lot, like the music room and the other different areas, like playing the games or the water park or the basketball or the pool even. There is a lot in this lot. I have to say though, 64 by 64 is a massive size. I don't know that I don't know that I like it. It's just a big build, and there's just so much space that you have to fill. I think it's great though because there are many different possibilities of things that you can build here. For example, like I actually toyed with the idea of building like a shopping mall at some point, which may actually be a great idea for this location. It's just, a big lot in the center. You can kind of style it with the other shell buildings around. So maybe that is something I would consider like a shopping mall. But I think like if I were to do recreation centers for other worlds, I would probably do them on slightly smaller lots and just give them certain things. Like rather than trying to pack like everything into these builds that I could possibly think of, I would just meet the basic bare minimum requirements of a recreation center lot, I think. And, do add a couple of different touches between some of the other worlds. But for the San Sequoia one, with the lot being so huge, I thought it was great to add in like a bunch of different things and a bunch of different objects. I do think the rock climbing wall would have been great here too. I can't believe I forgot that. It was one of those things that was like in my head on my head list. And yeah, it just slipped. It just slipped. And that's okay though. Again, like I said, if you're not into yoga or meditation, you could easily just take that space and put the rock climbing walls right on that green roof. It would work great there too. I think it would fit well. So if your Sims don't really care to be Zen, then, you can put the rock climbing wall instead. I think that might actually be a little more fun, but that's just my personal opinion. And we're just fixing up the landscaping. I do not record me terrain painting because just like wallpapering, that took forever when you have to do around all the different trees and flowers and shrubs. And I actually do underneath the sidewalks to give them a little bit of like depth so they kind of just fit and look a bit nicer. I don't know. It just gives it a whole different look, But anyway, I do hope you're still here, enjoying this video. It was definitely a long one. We are almost to the end, I promise. But I do hope you enjoyed this speed build. It took a really long time to do, but I'm really happy with the results. I definitely would see myself playing here. My Sims playing here, so I achieved that. I'm not like the best at community lots. I love like house builds, so community lots are not like my thing, I guess. I like houses, but I wanted to try a recreation center, so here we are. So if you want to download the slot, you can find the Sequoia Club on the Sims 4 gallery. My gallery ID or my EA ID is just TheSimified. Yeah, it's really easy to place in your world. I did put some hashtags on the build, so I did like hashtag recreation center, hashtag growing together, and I think I did hashtag Sequoia Club as well. But I also did like hashtag Simified or TheSimified, so you can find the build if you want. But you should be able to find it just by looking at my EA ID. I think I have it showcased right on my gallery page, at least until the next build. So as you can see, all the different spaces, I think it turned out really great. I love the little play area and just all the other spaces in the build. It just looks so nice. It's just clean, organized, very minimal, nothing really to get in the way, clutter up the spaces. The showers, and you can see the shower through the glass, but you can also see like the light on the walls from the skylights. And this is that giant changing bathroom that surrounds the pool. This is the meditation / yoga space. And yeah, I think the roof was a great idea for that. It just probably would look really nice too. And there's my favorite area, the rooftop pool. But yeah, I do hope you enjoyed this speed build. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And that's really all I had until the next video. If you want to see anything in particular, please feel free to leave suggestions in the comments below. But I do thank you for watching. I hope you have yourself a great day, and I will see you in the next video.